Who's it going to be today, Joe? I think it's going to be Rev. It's
How you
always
doing,
Rev.
Rev?
Hi, Rev. Hi, Shorty. Hi, fine little Shorty. What's poppin'? Is it RJ today?
How you doing out here?
I think it's RJ. You owe RJ an iPad, Joe.
How you doing, Coca-Cola?
How you doing, Coca-Cola? I believe Joe says how you doing to whatever he sees at the moment. How you doing, Bob's new pair of glasses? I can see. Rev's here. Hi, Rev. Alfred Cluse, a man from Canada. It's your buddy Alfred. Joe, last week I gave you a pen from Alfred. I got one and you got one. Where's your pen, Joe? Please don't feed him while these kids is walking by, Joe. I don't want to fight. Hi, Matthew P. Hi, Iowa Oak. Hi, Paul. Hi, Ambrose. Hi, Tammany. God bless you, Tammany. I love my people.
Hi, Ambrose. How is everything?
Why don't you say hi to Tammany? What's your problem,
Tammany, how you feel?
How you feel? David Young, I hope that you're
Hi,
feeling
David.
good today. God bless you, my friend.
David, how are you?
Had the whole chat in here praying for you. And Joe's going to send you an iPad. Are you going to send David Young an iPad, Joe?
David, yes.
Yes, he's going to send you an iPad, so don't you worry about that. Miss Reilly's in his house. What's poppin'? Is that Bone Man? Oh my God, Bone Man's in here.
How you doing,
Bone Man's
Vincent?
the only person
Vincent,
on the whole planet who hates Joe's guts. Hi, Karina. God bless you.
I don't know where Vincent is.
Where's Vinny? Where's Vinny? Joe's feeding all these little birds around here. What's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Boogie Bob. I'm here with my strictly plutonic soulmate, Joe. He's going to answer the phone because Joe don't care. I am on TV. I cannot talk now. Vinny's at work. Okay, Vinny's at work, Joe.
How are you, Vinny?
He's at work.
Bring some those sausage.
GV's in the house.
Italian
Jamie
sausage,
Vogel.
Vinny.
Hi, Valerie.
For Robert. Robert loved those
Oh, I
sandwiches.
love those sausage sandwiches. Joe, last night it finally happened, folks. After a month of delay after delay after delay, one of the greatest nights in the history of the world happened last night, Joe. What do you think one of the world's greatest things that happened last night is, Joe?
Nothing good happened last night.
Yeah, something good happened. This happened. Oh, nothing better in the world than fried shrimp and bria. Fried shrimp and bria. Bria, say hi to your fans. Look at this, guys. That's what you call waltz shrimp. Where's Red Lobster? And she got these things. What are these again? Scallops?
Yeah, scallops.
Some pieces are good. You look pretty. Baby, you look gorgeous.
It's a nice dinner.
That was me and Bria doing our thing. It was nice. She did the shrimp. Usually she does the shrimp scampi, but she did the fried shrimp and she did the scallops. And yo, them scallops was good, bro. I brought home a plate. I brought home a plate bigger than my biggest plate. Anyways, we had a beautiful time. Bria is a lovely, beautiful, kind person.
Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hi, Maria. Who the hell's Maria? Look at it, Joe. Here's the thing. Money to burn. Joe, do you have money to burn? Now taxpayers have to give the same radical $6 million. I don't know. I don't care. Joe, do you know this girl's name here? Lily Collins. I'm not particularly interested in
What
her
she
number.
play, basketball?
I don't really care about her. I don't know her. God bless her. All right. NYPD, you have to pass. I like her. You have to pass the physical fitness thing. Joe, you've seen a lot of cops in New York. There's a lot of cops bigger and slouchier than me. them old ass cops. Some of them old ass cops, you see him waddling down the street. You're like, how is he physically fit? But they're coming up with new guidelines to get the cops in better shape. All right, steel wheels for Ferraris. 3 crooks. 3 crooks, Joe. I don't think we talk about Long Island enough, Joe. Long Island is a big-ass island. It's called Long Island for a reason. It's a long island. It ain't called Short Island. It's a long-ass island, Joe. 3 crooks smashed their way into Ferrari dealership, into the Ferrari of Long Island dealership, and made off with 4 luxury Ferraris. Okay, now these are morons. Unless it's the mob or something, and they're going to get them.
We're not going to go too far.
If they're going to get them and put them in trucks and ship them to Dubai, great. If it's a young kid driving around Long Island, he ain't going to laugh. They broke the glass door at the facility in South Service Road in Plainsville just before 4 a.m. Once inside, they snatched up assorted merchandise, and a bunch of key fobs. They then hopped into 2 convertibles, a gray 2014 and a blue 2016, as the 2 white 2-doors from 2018 and 2023. They drove off. Police were unable to elaborate on how 3 people managed to take 4 vehicles. Okay. 3 people, 4 vehicles. It can't be done.
There is one waiting outside.
There's got to be a 4th person.
Yeah.
Those cops are not very smart.
Not gonna go too far.
They ain't going too far.
Nazarati, you know.
They're not going too far. I'm not going to do all the protesting thing today. Joe, the fentanyl is insane. Listen, if you're out there and you plan on smoking weed, smoke all you want. I don't care. That's your business. But Joe, if you're going to do coke or crank or molly or pills or anything like that, bro, heroin, it's got fentanyl in it, you're going to die. Don't do it, bro. This ain't your daddy's LSD. Mushroom? I guess you could take mushroom. I would. This dummy, this moron, this idiot, Marjorie Taylor Trash Green, she's insane, bro. She's insane. So she went on Capitol Hill yesterday and started talking about how bad Joe Biden is. And I'll tell you why. She didn't understand what the word seized. Do you know what the word seized is, Joe?
Seized?
When the cops seize something, they take it.
Investigate.
They take it. That's called a seizure. They take. So what she did was she was on Capitol Hill yesterday, and she said, in 2019, the police seized 4,000 pounds of fentanyl at the border. In 2020, they seized 12,000 pounds. And just this year alone, they've seized 20,000 pounds. And this is an absolute reflection of Joe Biden and his poor policies at the border. And then Twitter went crazy. They're like, you moron. You don't know what seize means? Yeah, Joe's ruining the show with the birds, bro. I'm sorry, I can't do nothing about that. I got 45 pigeons on the thing. I mean, I love the pigeons too, but, you know, Joe don't care about the show. I don't even think Joe knows the show is on right now. Joe, do you know the show is on right now?
Yeah, you drink your juice while you talking.
Okay. Joe learned how to drink a juice box all by himself. That's very good. Anyway, so she's a moron. She's a moron. Landlubber, New Jersey seal pup. Joe, you like New Jersey seals? A baby New Jersey seal is a seal, a puppy. It's called a pup. A baby seal is called a pup. A baby seal was rescued and returned to the wild after she was spotted trying to cross a busy highway in Jersey Shore. A damn baby seal trying to cross a highway, Joe.
Looking for food.
Joe, I want to know where you got that orange juice. Did you get that from the senior center? Joe did not buy that orange juice. I guarantee you that.
If you want a good juice, buy this kind of juice.
I know. Where'd you get it? I'm
You
asking you
can
where
buy
you...
them from supermarket. They about
You
a
did not.
dozen together,
I
wrapped
know.
up.
I'm asking you where you got that juice from, Joe.
You know me.
I do know you.
I got it from the
Senior Center?
Senior Center.
Joe ain't going to buy
But
it.
you can buy it.
You can buy it. Joe ain't buying it.
Why?
Because you like to get the free ones from the Senior Center.
What about the lobster?
Oh, lobster. Last night, Joe, I ate lobster with a badass shorty. And then at the end, I gave him lobster cards. Came out with her tip and everything, came out to exactly $100. That's what I had on my card. That's the first time I've ever eaten anywhere without paying. Shout out to my beautiful niece, Rebecca, for the red lobster card.
Shame on you to eat lobster. You know what
Shame
they
on
do
me,
with
I
the
know.
lobster? They throw him in the
Horrible,
fire while he
horrible.
is alive.
Horrible. I agree, Joe. No, they throw him in the boiling hot water while he's alive. It's horrible. I agree, Joe.
I have to explain to everybody that's cruelty.
It is cruelty. And I did not eat lobster. I eat shrimp, and it's the same thing. They killed the shrimp, too. I feel horrible. They found my shrimp dead on the side of the highway, so I didn't kill my shrimp. I ate dead shrimp. You know, Joe, when you take a potato out of the ground. Anyways, they found a seal. Joe just ruined the whole show. Joe, you ruined the whole show. They found a seal crossing the thing. They threw the thing in the thing. They found the thing. They threw the thing in the thing, and then the thing was no thing. All right. There she is. Do you know who this is, Joe?
Glory goes down.
Glory goes down. That is the mayor of the Windy City, my second home, Chicago. It ain't the mayor no more. Chicago cop was slain last night, Joe. That was a Chicago cop killed last night. That'd be a very tough, probably worse than New York. Very tough. The guns out there are insane. Chicago police officer was shot and killed in the city's southwest side on Wednesday. The male cop was shot shortly before 5 p.m. The unidentified officer suffered wounds to his face and his legs, has been rushed to Sinai Hospital in critical condition.
Or he pronounced it.
He is pronounced dead, yeah. Slain means dead, so he's definitely dead. I wish I could help that pigeon with his horrible teeth.
I fed him good today, this guy. But you keep coming.
He keeps on coming. Joe, in a couple weeks we got the Oscars. Chris Rock is
Well, I
releasing
don't know
it.
if
Joe ain't.
I'm going to have an Oscar this year or not. We'll see.
You're not watching.
No,
You're not watching no damn.
I am invited.
Joe's invited to the Oscars. Joe, if you see Will Smith, I want you to slap him. Don't. I'm sorry. A family in a remote part of China adopted what it thought was a puppy dog. What do you think happened, Joe?
There's a fox.
It wasn't a fox. That's a good ass guess, Joe. Anybody at home want to guess? Now remember, it's a family in a remote area of China, not downtown. These guys are out in the forest somewhere. A family in a remote part of China adopted what it thought was a puppy, only to discover 2 years later that it was actually a bear. What are these guys, morons?
I love that.
It's a puppy that weighs 680 pounds. This is not a very smart family, folks. Su Yun, who lives in the village outside of the city of Kunming in Yunnan province, bought what she thought and was led to believe as a Tibetan Mastiff puppy while on vacation in 2016. Tibetan Mastiffs, they're very big dogs, though, Joe. A Tibetan Mastiff is monstrous. They can weigh as much as 150 pounds.
That's actually happening.
Her pet was 250 pounds when she discovered it was actually a damn Asiatic black bear. Come here, Spot. Rawr. Deadly mystery drug. Oh boy. They keep you in fear, Joe. They keep you in fear. That's what they do. 6 Syracuse first responders were hospitalized Wednesday after being exposed to a mysterious drug that killed 2 inside an apartment. It's a new drug. The problem is when a new drug hits the street, Joe, and it kills a bunch of people, all the addicts are looking for that drug.
Yeah, it's quick.
Where's the one that killed those people? That's the one I want. That's what they're doing. Officers responded to a call, a 911 call, 2 people dead in Brighton Towers complex. Mayor Ben Walsh said the firefighters and police found 2 people were likely dead from a substance that was used to cut their drugs. A 3rd person was found alive and sent to the hospital in an altered mental state. This person was high. Altered mental state means high, Joe. American medical response left the scene after police arrived, but were called back to administer Narcan. Now, Rev was a paramedic for years. Narcan is the thing, Joe, when you're having an overdose, they hit you with it, a little shot, and it gives you the adrenaline that brings you back to life. They gave Narcan to several first responders who began showing symptoms of drug exposure. The officials were taken to the hospital. They were exposed to and they exposed a nurse. This was some pretty powerful shit, Joe. There's this new thing going around on the internet. I don't know if some of you have seen it, Joe. You see a dollar bill on the ground. And anybody's going to pick up a dollar bill. I'll pick up a dollar bill. We can walk past a dollar bill. You pick up the dollar bill, but you don't know it's been laced with fentanyl, Joe. It's happened over and over and over. You can Google it. Pick up a dollar bill and you overdose on fentanyl. If you even touch it, you get high. Please, you see a dollar bill, do not pick it up. Kick it down the street. Pick it up with hot dog tongs and wash it off first. A man stole an American Airlines bus from JFK Airport, Joe. Wednesday, took it on a joyride through 3 boroughs. This moron, dude, you know what it's like to drive through 3 boroughs? I want to know what the boroughs were. I'm sure one of them was Brooklyn. Had to be Brooklyn, because it was JFK.
Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan.
Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan. That's what Joe says. I think he's right. Let me read and see where this moron took a scenic bus ride. Bershwan Quildon, 43. I like his name. His name is Bershwan Quildon. Sounds like a character straight out of Lord of the Rings.
Got no name.
He's 43, hopped inside of an employee bus, which was left unattended and idling. Somebody getting fired. In lot 12. Around 2 a.m. So the traffic's not that bad at 2 a.m., Joe, but it certainly is not a joyride. He was whizzing down Grand Central Parkway when an airline employee in his own car spotted the bus and said, "Yo, that's our bus. What's this dude driving our bus?" It's unclear if Quildon knew he had been spotted, but he continued driving over the RFK Bridge into Manhattan. So Joe's right. So far, Brooklyn, Manhattan. Now we got to see if he's in Queens. Along the FDR Drive before crossing over to Brooklyn Bridge, police did not chase him, but they were in place to safely pull him over. No injuries were reported. Yeah, Joe was right. He was in Brooklyn, charged with grand larceny, criminal possession of stolen property. He is known to the department and has mostly a domestic violence background. That means he's a creep. He's been arrested 10 times. 7 of those have been sealed. He's a creep. Probably out right now. All right, what do we got going here, Joe? I'm going to do the Harry Potter thing. Spell is broken for gender. Cancel mob out to silence Rollins. As you know, this is an inclusive show. LGBTQ plus community, and that includes our trans brothers and sisters. And this is J.K. Rowling. What the hell is her? There it is. And she has come out against trans. And it's going to be very hard to cancel her. She's so filthy rich. She's a billionaire. Joe, this is a woman who was homeless, living in her damn car. She came up with the idea of Harry Potter, and it's one of the most successful movie franchise and book franchises in the history of the world. She's a very, 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 very wealthy woman. But with great responsibility comes great responsibility. I don't know how that thing goes. Ambrose will type it in. You can't be just talking crap about people.
How you doing, Ambrose?
Hi, Ambrose. Uh-oh. Listen to this, Joe. I think we got a good story. Joe likes stories about animals. Good stories about animals. Joe won't even talk about Australia and the camels, because Joe doesn't like to hear about Australia. A Detroit mom says the street dog she adopted. Oh, God. Here we go, Joe. I think it's a good one. I'm not sure yet. It better not turn out to be a bear. I'm going to be pissed off if this lady adopted a dog and it was a bear, too. A Detroit mom says the street dog that she adopted saved her baby daughter's life, dashing into their blazing home to make sure firefighters could find the tot in her playpen. Janet Kelly said Blue, the pit bull mix, proved way more than a good boy when thick black smoke overwhelmed everyone in the building. He went running back into the house, past police officers and firefighters, because he knew Chantel, my youngest daughter, was in her playpen. The family lost everything. Every single thing they owned burned up in flames except their daughter. They said the fundraiser had already taken in more than $88,000. A dog saved a kid, Joe.
God bless you.
I had a horrible experience, a couple in fires. I almost lost my dad when the house burned down around him when I was in 3rd grade. Kid came to my school and said, your dad was killed in a fire.
Really?
I cried all the way home. Kid said, your dad was killed in a fire. I cried and cried and cried. I had a headache. I couldn't see. I got to the house. It was all taped off. My dad did survive. That was 3rd grade. Then around 1982, I was at a friend's house. He lived in a mobile home park. And went outside to move the car and noticed that the old man next door, his home was completely engulfed in fire. I went up, opened the door. I didn't know anything about fires. I opened the door after yelling, Shorty, Shorty, Shorty.
Smoke.
Opened the door and the damn door knocked me, pretty much almost knocked me out, Joe. I guess you're not supposed to be opening doors because the fire and the combustion blew me off the porch. I got up, I crawled into the home, Joe, because I thought the old man was in there. The problem is, Joe, when a mobile home or I guess a house is on fire, all the smoke is at the top. And I'm crawling around on the bottom. I could see okay. Everything was completely black. It didn't hurt my eyes or anything, but I had to feel the walls. I kept feeling for a light switch, like a moron. I finally found the light switch, only to realize there wasn't no lights. The electricity was all burnt out. It was completely black in there, Joe. I crawled around. I just started passing out when my brother saved me, pulled me out. The man was playing pinochle across the street at his friend's house. His cat did die in the fire. But I've never, ever forgotten how horrific and horrible it is, Joe, to be in a damn building where you can't see nothing. You can't do nothing. You can't lift your head 3 inches off the carpet or you got the smoke. That's a horrible, horrible way to die, and I am so proud of that little puppy for going in there to save the little girl. Look at this, Joe. Good news. Airport bomb bust. Look at this guy. 3-inch device and checked bag. He had a little bomb in his bag, Joe. You get mad when you go on an airplane. You gotta sit there and go through the metal detectors. I love it. A Pennsylvania man was caught in the airport this week trying to sneak a bomb onto a flight to Florida inside his luggage. Mark Muffley was due to board an Orlando-bound flight at Lehigh Valley International Airport in Pennsylvania Monday when the explosive device was found.
Lehigh.
There it is. That's why Joe gets paid the big bucks. He chimes in once every 30 minutes with a correction.
That's a big shopping center. I was there.
Pennsylvania. I forgot, Joe. That's your hometown. That's your turf. That's where your daughter and family live.
He can't even speak English. Lehigh.
Okay. Joe's going in on me now. Joe is going in on me. I apologize, Joe, that I didn't know the name of every airport in America. Say it again, Joe. What's it called?
Lehigh.
All right. Let me try again. Mark Muffley, 40, was due on an Orlando-bound flight to Lehigh. How you say it, Joe?
Lehigh.
Lehigh Valley. See, Joe's good for something.
Lehigh Valley. Yeah.
Joe's going in on me.
Yeah.
Making fun of my grammar. Joe's got jokes today. I love it. They found a disposable device in his checked bag. The small device set off an alarm, and it was being screened by TSA. What's TSA stand for, Joe?
Some jewelry, maybe it's an atom material or something.
TSA is
bomb
the
material.
airport security, the transportation.
The
According to the
security caught this guy before he
they caught him before he got on the plane.
Oh yeah.
When agents searched his bag, they found in the lining a device that was about 3 inches in diameter, filled with powder, and had 2 fuses covered with wax paper and plastic wrap. This is a creep.
That's great. Who is gonna kill them?
I don't know, but I don't like it. Get on a plane with a guy with a damn firework. He was then paved over the. He was paved. They found his bag going through the detector, and then they paged him. Mr. Johnson, there's nothing wrong at all. Can we talk to you? We want to upgrade your flight, sir. Don't worry, these are not police. Just come up here. You want a prize, sir. You want Knicks tickets. Come on up. They paged him, Joe. They paged him.
That's a
Over the airport.
Dynamite powder.
The dynamite powder. That's what Joe assesses that it's dynamite
That's it.
powder.
That's a terrible thing. He would have blew the aeroplane.
Well, he was at Leahy Airport. Leahy Airport, everybody.
Really high.
According to, they paged him. He eventually was arrested at his home. He heard the page. He said, I ain't falling for the okie doke. And he got the hell out of there. Mr. Johnson, could you please come to front desk? He's like, hell no. They onto me. He ran his ass home. They found him at home. According to a criminal complaint, the powder found in the bomb is suspected of a mixture of flash powder and dark granular substance used in commercial-grade fireworks.
Oh.
The baggage also contained a can of butane, a lighter, a pipe with white powder residue, wireless drill, and... This guy's a douche. What a creep. I hope he goes to prison for 100 years. Joe, you like Marilyn Monroe? Monroe?
Well, that's many, many years.
Yeah, well,
Years.
got a statue.
I was still.
Statue right there in Hollywood. They got a statue. Actually, this is a famous shot where she did the, I think it was in Some Like It Hot. Someone can correct me, I'm sure they will. Where she did the shot where the subway grate made her skirt fly up over on, I think it's on 60th Street, somewhere around there.
That's his statue.
That's her statue. A major ransomware attack. Do you know what ransomware is, Joe?
Ransom.
Ransomware. It's when these computer hackers, they hack a company, like JCPenney's, let's say. They hack it, and then they send an email and say, we are going to delete all your files unless you give us $100,000. They lock them out and everything, and people pay it. You don't want your whole system deleted, so they pay it. A major ransomware attack compromised a host of sensitive information held by U.S. Marshal Service, including details about potential investigations targeting employees. I don't care.
That's a terrorist attack.
That's a terrorist
If you
attack.
destroy companies, that's the terrorist attack.
Guys, this is Kylie Jenner. She's a self-made billionaire, young, 21 years old billionaire. She might be 22 now. This is her husband, Travis Scott. He is the guy, Joe, that held the concert that killed the 10 or 12 people in Texas when they were stampeded and crushed. Well, he's at it again. He was at a club called Nebula right on 42nd Street. This piece of crap punched the DJ in his face. And now the DJ's in the hospital saying, he's very wealthy. Joe, if a very wealthy man punches you in the face, what do you do, Joe?
I sue it.
You sue him. My neck hurts. He says his fingers are tingly. He says he can't get it up anymore. Well, that happened to me in college. But he's got tingly down his arm. He's seeing spots. He can no longer satisfy his wife sexually. They're going to get him. The rapper Travis Scott socked an engineer in the face and damaged $12,000 worth of equipment at a Midtown club early Wednesday. By the way, I have an appointment to talk to them about my service. I also have one today to talk about this brand new, amazing Nigerian club right next to Hard Rock. They called me and asked me to come in. I got to go in, I got to shower, I got to look cute. And if it's a female manager, I got the, if it's a female, I got it. If it's a dude, we'll see. Anyways, Joe, you're absolutely correct. If a rich man punches you in the face or hits you with his car, you better lay on the ground and scream bloody murder.
You can make a settlement right away while you lay it down.
Listen, my back hurts. Give me 40 grand. I'll get up and leave right now. You give me 40 grand and a ham sandwich, we'll call it even. You feel me?
Yeah, write me a check for 40,000.
Give me 40. Don't write me a check. Go to the bank and get me cash.
Right, let me go.
All right. Jussie Smollett is being revisited. Jussie Smollett, Joe, had the whole world in his hands. Thank you to Samantha for my beautiful Canada hat. Joe, the guy was on one of the #1 TV shows. He was very handsome. He had a singing career, not only on the show, but in real life. He was a great actor, had the whole world in front of him, Joe. He went to Chicago. He was a gay male, gay black male. So he decided he wanted a little publicity. I don't know why. And so he went to the worst blizzard in the history of Chicago. You know, Chicago has bad blizzards, Joe.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst ones ever. At 2 in the morning, the guy goes to get a Subway sandwich. Allegedly.
Yeah.
He went to get the Subway sandwich, Joe. He was beaten outside by 2 Trump supporters wearing Trump hats that said MAGA on. They called him homophobic names. They beat him and they tried to hang him with a noose. He goes home, Joe, to his apartment, called 911. The cops come. It's been over an hour now since the incident. The cops get there, Joe, and here's where his plan fell apart. The cops get there yesterday on Adam 12. Joe jumped in front of
How you doing, Adam?
I love me some 1 Adam 12. Joe, the cops get to his house, his apartment, an hour later, and they open the door, and he's still got the noose around his neck. And the detective went into the other room with the other detectives and said, Joe, would you, as a black man who was assaulted and almost hung with a rope, have the rope still around your neck an hour later? They were like, no, this fool planted, this guy started all this. Anyway, well, the 2 people that did this were the Nigerian Okando brothers. I forget their name, please forgive me. They were his personal trainers. He actually wrote them a check. They have them on video buying the tape and the rope and the hats and the gloves. The whole thing, 1,000%. I always go with the guy. I'm always like, with the victim. I'm always with the victim until proven otherwise. Well, he was proven otherwise. Well, Jussie Smollett lost it all, but now this whole scandal is being. And by the way, he's never admitted that he was wrong, even though there's every piece of information. He's found guilty. And he said, "Oh no, I was right. I was right. He was wrong. Trust me, I don't ever do that. He was wrong." It's being revisited for a new docu-series from Fox Nation. The 5-part Jussie Smollett, Anatomy of a Hoax, is set for release on March 13th. It will feature exclusive interviews with the brothers, Amibola and Olabinjo Osandario brothers. These are huge bodybuilding, weightlifter guys who have never spoken to the media. By the way, they've been solid for them. They didn't go out and snitch on them and stuff. They were indicted and they were called to testify, so they had to. But they've never done any stories on us. 4 years ago, this hate crime. Well, busted, Joe, busted. That's all I could say. All right, Madonna has a new sparring partner. I don't care. Joe, this is a pinup from the days when you were a kid, Joe. That was a sexy pinup back in the Joe days. This might get you in trouble at school. What else she's got? Hottie toddy. She's showing a lot of leg there, Joe. Big star Jennifer keeping her cool. This is Jennifer Coolidge. You guys know her. She's been in 100 movies. She's always a sidekick or the best friend. She's finally starting to get leading roles. She's a wonderful comedic actress. Union Slam menthol ban. Joe, Governor Hochul has found a new way to antagonize New York's union leaders with the labor group blasting. She has a ban on flavored tobacco. I don't care. Muslim progressive activist, flack for Belmont loan. I don't know. Nothing good today, Joe. Nothing good here. Not doing the news today about the war. No war today, Joe. You okay with that?
No, it's all baloney. What's else? Cut in line. What's that?
A registered sex offender, Joe. A registered sex offender was sentenced to 37 years to life.
Sex offender?
I hope you get sex offended in prison for 37 years of your life.
That's it.
A sex offender got 37 years to life in prison Wednesday with the brutal rape of a woman in 2021 in Manhattan on a sidewalk. On a damn sidewalk, Joe.
Well, he wants to enjoy.
Don't say it.
That's what I say.
Don't say it, Joe.
No, that's
Daryl Phelps.
He deserves, because this is a good lesson for all those sex offenders.
Good lesson is don't rape people on a sidewalk.
No, not even anywhere.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Daryl Phelps, 62, was convicted of predatory sexual assault in the attack on a 23-year-old woman from Korea while she was walking home from her job in Koreatown. That's where I have one of my places. Koreatown's around 28th. No, it's right by the Empire State Building. It's 28th and 5th. That's right by Macy's. 27th, 36th Street.
Don't they own the New Yorker Hotel?
Oh, they might. They might. Well, this is Koreatown. This is not
I think so.
Korean. I desperately want the predator to be punished, the victim wrote in a statement that read Manhattan. Anyways, Joe, you're right. The guy deserved.
He is lucky, but you go to the Middle East, if you have a woman, forget about it. You dead. You dead.
You deserve to be dead. Joe, this is how the rich cheated Disney. Look at Mickey Mouse is taking the cash. It's all about the cash. It ain't about the experience. It's about the cash. Those willing to spend can secure the services of VIP guides and nannies. Now, Joe, if you go to Disney, the problem is you go there, you want to have a great time with your family. You're going to spend $1,000 for a family of 4. Okay. So you go there, Joe. You want to go on the ride. Here's the Matterhorn. Let's go get in line. It's a 2-hour line to get. It's a 2-hour line to get on the ride. But they have these things called Speedy Pass. For an extra $60, you ain't got to wait in line with all the loser dirt bags. You walk ahead, and they're all looking at you like, you piece of crap.
You can buy them online, isn't it?
You can buy them. You can buy them. That's one way the rich folks.
Can you cut all those $100?
Cut the $100 bills out and give them to you?
Give it to me.
Okay.
I can
Joe
buy
wants to go to prison for Oh boy, Joe. We talked about it. I said I don't know how they could possibly keep this woman on. This is the the cross-dressing woman with the size Z cups. Clearly a man in his neighborhood walks around as a guy with a t-shirt on, but when he works as a teacher, Joe, he has these ridiculous size Z bosoms, fake breasts.
Oh, that teacher from Canada?
He was fired.
I don't blame.
They was fired. Canadian high school teacher who wears massive Z-cup prosthetic implants, or breasts, has been placed on leave after the post photos revealed that someone who resembles her quite strikingly wears them outside of work. She, outside of work, dresses as a man. Okay, Quake Dogs, 23 lives. You ready, Joe? I think I got another good story. Page 26. A dog was rescued Tuesday after being buried in the rubble of Turkey for 23 days.
Oh, God. How did he survive?
We're going to find out here in a second. The pooch, a husky named Alex. A husky named Alex. Here, Alex. I don't know if that... Here, Alex. It's funny because all my pets have a E or a Y at the end.
Yes.
Lucy, Frankie, Chucky, Mikey. The only one I had was Tupac. I had Cassidy. Lisa did not have Lisa. Most of them are the E. Chucky. And then if it's Frankie, I always change his name. I don't even call Frankie Frankie. I call him Bangy. Bangy. Phoebe is Biggie. I don't know. I changed their names. Dog, and all my cats know their names, Joe. There could be 4 of them sound asleep, and if I say Lucy, only Lucy's going to wake up and look. Frankie ain't looking. Frankie's deaf. Frankie can't hear. The pooch was a husky named Alex, was pulled out of the piles of concrete and building debris near Antakya in the Hatay province of Turkey. According to local media reports, teams in the area scoured the location to build temporary shelter for quake survivors when they heard the dog's faint cries for help. They crawled beneath the rubble in search of the pooch. After 90 minutes, they pulled the lucky dog out and reunited it with his owner. Joe, that's a miracle.
A good news.
That's a blessing.
But many,
Joe's getting ready to ruin
far,
it.
many animals died under those.
They did, unfortunately. Hey, Joe.
Those rapids.
I want to thank our sponsor today. This is our sponsor, Coke Zero. This ain't your daddy's Coca-Cola. It's got all the oomph that you want from a soda, and not
a cat photo on it.
It's a girl. It's not a cat. It's a girl wearing cat ears.
It's a cat or a cat?
It's a girl. It's a girl.
It looks like a cat.
Joe, I can't drink a regular soda now. I didn't even know this thing existed. I can't drink diet sodas. They taste cringy and gross to me. But a Coke Zero tastes exactly like Coca-Cola. Murdaugh, Joe, you know the Murdaugh guy who killed his wife and son, allegedly? The jury went to the site yesterday. Today they're wrapping up. Today they were doing the closing arguments. I'm just going to keep it moving.
30 years, Jim.
Does anybody know Camilla? I need to talk to her. It's pretty important. You guys claim to be my friends. I ask you for numbers all the time.
This is a new hat from Canada, isn't it?
It is. A new hat from Canada. You like it?
Yeah, it is
beautiful.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh boy, listen to this, Joe. This is from Samantha. It's a beautiful hat.
How you doing, Samantha?
Hi, Samantha. Cops are investigating who leaked live-streamed porn images of former New York One weatherman Eric Adam. The New York One weatherman. They leaked pictures of his penis on the live stream, Joe. The Emmy-nominated but now out-of-work meteorologist believes a mysterious voyeur became obsessed with disturbing nude images of him in an apparent effort to embarrass him. I concluded that the same person that is just obsessed with posting these pictures of me in the first interview since the scandal. Don't do it, bro. I sent one dick pic. 10 years ago. Girl hits me up like 6 years later. I still have that picture. I'm proud of my dick pic. Show it. I don't care. Who are you going to show it to? Put it on the internet. Make sure you spell my name right. There was nothing to be ashamed of in that picture, Joe. But I could see how some people don't want their dick pics online. You think before I sent it, I didn't make sure that it was going to be appropriate? That it was going to be acceptable? Crime gang honcho dead. A Colombian police said Wednesday they found the body of Wilmer Antonio Geraldo Quiroza. What a name. The second in command of the Clan del Golfo crime gang. The body found near the... First of all, I don't even think it's him. You're in Colombia and you're that powerful of a gang leader, you got someone that looked like you and killed him. That ain't him. But I digress. As soon as I find out what digress means, I'm going to digress. I'm not going to do the TikTok. Hey, Joe.
That's
It's
what-
about time that I bust
That's
around.
what's happening in Greece.
I'm going to get to that.
Train
That's a
delay.
horrible
And,
thing that happened in Greece.
I think 40 people died in that derailment.
Let's see. No, you know what, Joe? I'm a little disappointed because you're right. They didn't even cover Greece. This is Ohio again. In Greece, Joe, I believe they arrested the conductor yesterday, or the person in charge of the
The
train.
traffic light or so. They
Yeah,
call it. They have traffic light for trains. You know that.
6 Air Force officers who were charged with caring for the infrastructure, fuel, and logistics support of a North Dakota nuclear missile base were fired. These guys are out drinking and partying. They got the fingers on the button to kill us all, and they out there partying. Rogue cops. A rogue cop, Joe, is a cop that's doing illegal stuff. In Baltimore. By the way, it's Baltimore, Maryland, and the nickname on the street is Bodymore Murderland.
That's where
There's
Biden
more
was
murders
born.
than anywhere. Joe Biden's from Baltimore? I thought he was from
Yeah.
Connecticut.
No, Baltimore.
Oh boy, I think we got Joe in a lie right now. Ambrose, I need you to do what you do, my friend. Is Joe Biden from Baltimore? Because I believe he's from Pennsylvania.
No,
Not Connecticut, Pennsylvania.
Delaware.
Delaware. I don't know. Joe just said 9 things. I don't know.
Delaware.
Ambrose said he's from Delaware. Ambrose says it. It's word. Word to your mother. The rogue cops in Baltimore cost $6 million. That's going around robbing people and doing other stuff. Joe, it's about time that I bust around.
Yeah, but
I'm not busting around for what I bust around.
sometimes they have bad people, bad
I'm here to
cops.
let you know that we're about to flow. It's time for the Jordan Joe Show.
I was.
So let's go. How is everybody? How is the Jordan Joe Show, everybody? Joe, I think it's about time that we break out this is a fan favorite. Everybody keeps calling me and saying, the Wheel of Joe is the funnest part of the show. And I added sound effects. Joe, you ready? We're only doing 3. Click, 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 click. Capricorn, Joe. Capricorn. Click, 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 click. Pisces, Joe. And last but not least, click, 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 click. Pisces again, no? Click, 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 click. It's right on the edge. I'm spinning again. It might cause controversy. Click, 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 click. Look at this, Joe. Right on the edge again. Guys, if it's Taurus, it's Taurus.
Okay.
If it's not a clear-cut winner, I'm going to spin it again. That's what I do. And the last but not least, as a bonus round, Joe, we've got Sagittarius. I know that's going to make several people in our chat very happy. Joe, it's on you now, Playboy. You got to speak up because people keep saying they can't hear you through your damn mask.
Okay.
Oh, look at Joe's enthusiasm. Okay.
Is there a message?
Who you reading?
Well, Capricorn.
Okay.
Is there a message you need to get across to the world?
Nope.
Then get out your soapbox and take your pitch.
All right.
Your passion is sure to inspire, but keep it light and try not to sound too apocalyptic. As that
As
might...
what?
What's that word? Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Joe's making fun of my English.
As that might
FOH.
turn some people off.
It might turn me off.
What does that mean, acrobat?
Apocalyptic is like almost like end of the world. It's the apocalypse. You know what the apocalypse is?
Yeah, I hope that will never happen. Sagittarius, Bobby.
Well, it will at some point. Sagittarius Poppy. Am I Poppy in this equation? I feel a little uncomfortable.
Jupiter, your ruler, links with Venus today in the most dynamic area of your chart.
Joe, one time my Uranus linked with Venus, but that was in Congress.
So get out into the world and enjoy what it has to offer. And make sure you offer it something good in return. If you are not loving and laughing, then you are doing it wrong.
Doing it wrong. Facts. If you're not loving and laughing.
Pisces.
Pisces, all right. Joe said that with authority.
Right? An unexpected windfall will cheer you up. No end between now and the weekend. But watch out for those who want to help you spend it, or you could end up with precious little left for yourself. Better still, don't spend it at all. Save it instead.
I didn't follow one word of what Joe said. I'm looking at a bad shorty at 2 o'clock.
Taurus.
Taurus, it's a mighty bull corner of the internet. Joe.
You have been a bit hesitant to open up emotionally in recent weeks, but as Venus, your ruling planet, aligns with Jupiter today, that should no longer be such a problem. Let friends and loved ones know exactly how you feel and why.
Joe, I need to hire an interpreter. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know anything you said. I know you're rolling the hell out of those R's, Joe. Jupiter.
I've seen this guy before. He's a famous. He's from Hollywood.
He's a big famous guy. That's Joe. Joe's got fans out here. People walk by all the time.
Another nut.
They always walking out here.
It's another nut.
Yeah, he's a nutcase. He said Joe's a famous Hollywood
No,
guy.
I don't.
Joe, you got fans.
I told him many times, please keep it down.
He's Joe's. They like to
In
walk
the
up.
summer, you will see him every day.
I know. And the crazy lady, your friend.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of doing the news. She comes up, hey, where's Joe? I'm like this. And in the news, it looks like Joe Biden has actually come, hey, where's Joe? I go,
That's how
he's
he
in,
talks.
he's in Connecticut. But I'll tell him you said hi. And Joe Biden actually got on the airplane, guys, and then where is he? Ma'am, I don't know where he's at. I think he's in Connecticut, but I'll definitely tell him you said hi. And Joe Biden had Kamala Harris. Yeah, but did you know if he's going to be here today? Ma'am, I don't know where it's at.
All right.
If you guys seen her, I'm very polite about it. I'm about as rude as I can be, which is I'm very unrude. I just want to tell her, get out of here. But I can't because that's not in my makeup. It's just she knows. Joe, that lady knows we do the news. She sees me sitting here talking about Joe Biden.
Many times I told her to calm down. If you see me busy, please sit down.
Joe does tell him. Joe's a lot harder
On the
on
next
him than I
day,
am.
and wait for me until I finish.
Yes. Joe's a lot stricter than I am.
Born on this day.
Okay, let's cut to the
Sam Houston. Who is Sam Houston?
Sam Houston. There's a couple Sam Houstons. There was a wrestler named Sam Houston, but the Sam Houston you're talking about was one of the guys at the Alamo. He was named. I mean, they named Houston, Texas, after him. Sam Houston was. I think he might have even been a governor or something at some point.
You know, he was the president of Texas. Because Texas was a president, before they enrolled in there.
I did not know that. I think Joe's lying. Joe, I think you're lying. But Sam Houston was there at the Alamo. I think he was there with Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and the Easter Bunny. I don't know. The Easter Bunny I'm not sure about.
Dr. Seuss.
What do you know? What do you know about Dr. Seuss, Joe?
He is children author. If you remember, he wrote The Cat in the Hat.
He did. He also wrote Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah.
He wrote a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
He wrote another one called Where's Joe? That's my favorite. The Where's Joe is my favorite. I read that all the time. Dr. Seuss was a children's book, children's author. But Joe, he did much more than that. He was able to make it very simplistic so the young kids could read it and feel like they were actually learning something. The Cat in the Hat, Pulp Fiction, the movie Pulp Fiction. I think he... What else you got, Joe? So far, Joe's got two pretty decent ones.
Mel Ott.
Mel Ott was a famous baseball player. I think he played for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but I'm probably wrong about that. I'm sure Ambrose will correct me. Mel Ott.
Desi Arnaz. Who is Desi Arnaz? Do you remember?
I do.
Remember that song?
I do. Babalu.
Babalu.
Babalu
Very
was his
famous.
song. Desi Arnaz was Ricky Ricardo. A lot of you know him as. That was Lucille Ball's husband, in real life husband. And Desi Arnaz was a serial cheater. Cuban born and came here and was a phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
Was actually, I think, Lucy's manager for a while there, but very, very bright and intelligent, but also ran the relationship with a pretty much iron fist, which was hard to do to Lucy. He humiliated her, embarrassed her because he stepped out on her every chance he got. And they divorced back in probably the 50s or 60s. What else you got, Joe?
Jennifer Jones.
I do not know that.
Oh,
What did she do?
an actress.
I need Ambrose's help in the worst way on this.
Jennifer Jones.
Jennifer Jones. I love when Joe rolls the R's. I wish I would kill to be able to roll an R. I don't know how to do it.
Who is John Cullum?
Who?
John Cullum. Cullum.
Where are you looking, Tom?
John Cullum. His last name is Cullum. Cullum.
Never heard of him.
Mikhail Gorbachev. Who is Mikhail Gorbachev?
Mikhail Gorbachev was the president of Russia. He's the one
The last president of the Soviet Union.
of the Soviet Union.
He
Excuse me.
died a few months ago. Around
He had
24 months.
the world famous tattoo. The birthmark on his head. He was actually the one that Ronald Reagan famously said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall." Mikhail Gorbachev tore down the wall, and that was the horrible wall between East and West Berlin, just making it Berlin. We used to go, East Berlin was gray and dark. You couldn't even get toilet paper. On the other side of that wall was West Berlin, and you could do whatever you wanted there and live your life. Unfortunately, people were separated by a 12-inch thick wall. I have some really great videos on my channel of the Berlin Wall, some of the pieces around Manhattan. They're worth millions of dollars. People used to go up to the wall, Joe, and if you got too close to it, the soldiers on the other side would shoot and kill you. There was people in East Berlin that wanted to be free, and they would take pole vaults and try to run and pole vault over it or jump from buildings over it if they could. They tried everything they could. It was a horrific, horrible thing, and tearing it down was absolutely beautiful. And when the Soviet Union fell, they tore it down. What else you got, Joe?
Okay. We have John Bon Jovi
Have you heard of him before, Joe?
as a singer, isn't it?
He is a singer.
Yeah.
Daddy used to work on the dock. Something, 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 get this pay for love. Oh, for love. It's hard to sing when I got 5 shorties looking at me over there. Stevie wants to think all day. It's funny, Joe, because I saw him on his very first tour. John Bon Jovi is one of the biggest stars in the history of Jersey. Just an absolute multi-platinum artist. Saw them perform. I actually filmed it. I got to put that up. In Times Square. Saw them perform in Times Square many, many years ago. Alicia Keys was there that day, too. And To All the Girls I Loved Before. Who's that? His son. Iglesias, his son. Had a whole bunch of people performing that day. I was out there filming. This is 15 years before YouTube. So I'm going to dig up that video and show it as well. But John Bon Jovi, Joe, on his very first tour, I was in San Francisco watching him. He had a show called a song called She's a Little Runaway. People were throwing batteries at him. They drug him off stage. He tried, but we came to see the Scorpions or whoever we came to see, and we weren't trying to see some dude in negligees and all the hair and all that. I actually like him. Met him in the elevator the day of the Grammys. Met him in the elevator. Took a picture with Shelby. Very nice guy. What else you got, Joe?
All right. Ron Kant, a baseball Hall of Fame. Ron Kant.
Ron Kant. Sounds familiar. I can't.
Okay. Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, actually met him. He was the last 007, James Bond. Actually
That's
had a
it.
show right here on our street, Joe, closer to your house than mine. He had the Macbeth, but brilliant actor. I like him. Also, probably the meanest James Bond there ever was. Just not, there's no, you know, Roger Moore and some of these guys were just so, Sean Connery, they were debonair or suave. Daniel Craig ain't that. Daniel Craig was a tough guy. I don't think he ever smiled or said hello or thank you to anyone in that whole. He did about 5 or 6 of them. I thought he was great. I think he's one of the best James Bonds. What else you got, Joe?
We have a Chris Martin.
Chris Martin is the lead singer for. Ambrose is going to beat me to it. I'm going to try to beat Ambrose to it. Not Ben Folds 5. Chris Martin. Come on, help me out here. Chris Martin. Do you know the names there, Joe? Do you have the name down there?
Chris
Singer.
Martin.
Joe just writes singer. Coldplay. Damn it. Coldplay. He's actually very talented. He also plays piano and guitar. Edward Griffin comes in there. Edward Griffin. I ain't heard from him all show. Edward Griffin.
How you
Strikes.
doing,
Joe,
Griffin?
you owe Edward an iPad. Can you make that happen?
Okay, Mr. Edwin.
Edward, just send in your address with a self-returned address, and also put in for the iPad $3,200 for shipping and handling. And I will make sure that Joe gets you an iPad 2, a slightly used iPad 2. You're the big winner on the show today. What else you got, Joe?
We have on the dead
We have On the Dead.
some
boy.
very famous,
Whenever he says that, I'm telling you right now, you've never heard of this person.
very famous archaeologist. His name was Howard Carter, not related to President Carter.
Howard Carter, and he's no relation to.
What he discovered, the tomb of Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun, the boy king. Tutankhamun, the King Tut,
Yeah,
was
King
the, I think in the late 70s or early 80s, the greatest tour. They toured the earth with that thing. There'd be lines thousands of miles long for these lines.
That's the greatest discovery of...
Certainly is. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of treasures.
Discovered tomb of
Solid
Tutankhamun.
gold sarcophagus.
I want to ask him if he got away with some gold.
Well,
His grave.
as you know, Joe, most of those kings, most of those tombs were looted over the years.
Yeah.
They would have a king buried, Nefertiti
They were looted.
buried. People would dig with shovels at night in
At
the
all
desert.
time, they were looted.
They were looted and looted. So to
from
find
the old
one,
time to the present time.
2 days ago, they found something very strange. They found a tomb with, I think, 15 alligators or crocodiles, mummified crocodiles in there. Never found before. Brandon, so Joe, you know, in that vast desert, there are probably hundreds and hundreds of more tombs, maybe thousands, we don't know about. They'll be discovered at some point. But you're saying On the Dead, it's not King Tut, the guy that found him, archaeologist Howard Carter. No relation. I don't think anyone thought there was, but no relation to Jimmy Carter. Or Aaron Carter. Or Linda Carter. No relation to any of the Carters.
Yeah. Okay.
Or the Carter Hotel. What else you got, Joe?
We have Lil Talbot.
I quit.
You know who's he?
Nope, I quit, Joe. I refuse to
He's
ever...
a stage actor. If you remember The Adventures of Ozzy.
The Adventures of Uzi. The hell's The Adventures of Ozzy? I don't know it. Sounds like some obscure piece of crap on an off-Broadway show held in Schenectady, New York. I quit, Valerie. I'm out. I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a job as a host Guys, if you have a YouTube channel, I'd like to audition for co-host gig. Because I can't replace Joe. Every time Joe leaves, the show goes downhill. Yeah, like it couldn't go downhill more than it already is. What else you got, Joe?
Hank Ballard. You remember the twist?
The Twist?
He actually co-founded the twist dance. You know,
Do the twist. To do the twist. The twist was Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker. Do the
Hank
twist. And it
Ballard.
goes like this. Do the twist. Ain't no damn Hank Ballard. I never heard of the guy. Hank Ballard, John Henry Kendricks. He was an American rocker. Hank Ballard.
that's right.
I don't think he got nothing to do with the twist. Nayan says he does. The twist. Pre-Chubby Checker. I had a chubby, but that was in college. Sorry. I went too far. I crossed the line. I apologize.
Oh, he came
To
out.
all the ladies in the house, I apologize. Sugar Bay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Valerie, forgive me. Where's Colleen today? Tammany, I apologize. Joe brings out the R rating. The Boogie Bob After Dark. What else you got, Joe?
Johnny Brown.
Why do you hate me, Joe? What did I do to you to make you hate me so much?
You know who's he?
I had a very good friend named Johnny Brown. I told you the story when I got tasered by the cops. I got tased 3 times by the cops. I was in a fight by myself against 6 young kids. 6 young kids. And they liked me. They just made the mistake of assaulting my homie, Johnny Brown. And Johnny Brown was my friend. He was with me. So when the guy punched him, I had to start kicking ass. Johnny Brown couldn't fight. I got tased 3 times. I was mopping the floor with these little bitches. Sorry. They picked the wrong one on that night, bruh. But that's the only Johnny Brown I know, Joe.
Well, he was a stage manager and comic actor. It's
He was a
okay,
stage
not-
manager. How the hell did he make your list, Joe?
What it says here, Tommy.
Here's a guy named Steve Duncan. He was a gardener. Joe, the object is to try to make him somewhat famous. Anybody else on your list?
We have Tony Walton.
Probably the
British actor.
worst list in the history of lists.
Well, I get you some foreign actors, but you're not familiar with them.
Joe likes to put me down. It's my fault because I never heard of Johnny Brown or Steve Johnson. He was he worked at the Burger King. He was a manager at Burger King on Hudson Road.
What is Tony Walton?
Tony Walton. Let's see what we got, Joe.
I was right.
He's a British Tony, Oscar, and Emmy Award-winning set and costume designer. Look at that. Ambrose has betrayed me again. Once again, he went to the dark side with Joe and crappy list.
Ambrose knows that I was right
You were right.
with picking up those big names.
You were right. Those big names. Steve Duncan. He worked at Burger King on Schenectady. Hey guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank our sponsors. These ain't your daddy's cookies. These are the nice, that's $1, iced oatmeal. Just like crack cocaine. And then again, Coke Zero. Guys, get yourself a Coke Zero. Don't be a hero, be a zero. I don't know.
Yeah,
Joe, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. I think that could be a good song. You should write that song, Joe.
Yeah.
Don't worry, be happy. Ooh, who does that song? Joe, don't worry, be happy. Ooh. Bobby McFerrin. He's a Bay Area guy. He's a Bay Area guy. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please be kind and loving to each other. As always, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to hit the like button. I don't know. I got 63 people in here. I got 4 likes. What the hell? I know you guys don't like Joe. I know John Ramsey doesn't like Joe. I don't know why.
Mr. Ramsey? How is that?
Brooklyn Born hates Joe. Iowa Oaks doesn't like Joe.
How you doing?
That's not fair. Joe's a great guy. Bone Man, he doesn't like Joe. I
Hi,
already know that.
Replan. How you
I'm
doing?
joking. Bone Man's in the house, Joe.
Oh, okay. How you doing, boy?
Please be kind and loving to each other. Hit the like on the way out. Let's talk again tomorrow. Don't look at the watch. It's embarrassing. I don't want you to look at it today. It's not fair. We'll talk again real soon. God bless you, and thank you for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace out, everybody. Peace out, Joe. Jordan Joe.